Welcome back, everybody. This is a special surf report because I think we have a big milestone that's been met in the collective unconscious. I wanted to put a quick video out. I don't want to take a lot of time on this, but man, that's what I said last time, and it ended up being a regular amount of time of about 30 minutes. I don't intend on taking that much time. What I want to do is I want to show you the latest DreamBot run. This is the biggest milestone I think we've ever seen, and it's really, really exciting. What I want to do first is kind of review yesterday's DreamBot so you can kind of see where we've come from yesterday. Maybe worth looking at the summary slide. Remember, everything's getting serious here. Things are getting serious. There's determination. There's matters of life or death in yesterday's DreamBot. We've got a lot of squares, in the astrology, which could mean a lot of pressure, a lot of obstacles, potential confusion, because it has to do a lot with Mercury. And so I was thinking a little bit trepid about this coming week based on all these things. I don't base my time on fear. I don't buy into fear porn on mass media, but you know what? Alternative media is doing the same thing, and I'd rather do. I'm commenting on these videos that I'm watching. I'm thankful for their views. I mean, for their opinions, their viewpoints. But I'm asking them to bring about a solution. Let's stop like kicking each other in the face and calling them bad and them good, and this demonization and deifying is all wrong. Demonizing is just as bad as deifying, in my opinion. And so, anyway, we want solutions. We want solutions instead of fear. Fear can be present if it's the truth. Sometimes the truth hurts. Yeah, sure. But these people don't know. Nobody knows ultimately the truth. Some people have more access to truth, some others don't. For all of us, I think this is the hardest time in the history of the world to try to gain truth, because everyone thinks they have it. Either everyone's trying to sway it, and it doesn't work like that. I think we're going to have to triangulate. You got to listen to all these people's perspectives, including mass media, and try and sift out what's truth and what's not truth. And it's not abstract. There is an absolute truth in there, but if you think one person is going to give it to you, I think that you're going to be running into the old dilemma of deifying, or the halo effect, where everything someone says is correct or everything someone says is wrong. And I don't think that's right. I think you're going to miss part of the truth if you do either one of those. So, including what I say shouldn't be gospel. You shouldn't be doing halo effect on me, but I don't think you should be demonizing me either. Listen to the message each time. Listen to whether or not it's true for you, and compare it to what everyone else is saying. And but I'm not really focused on finding the truth in this. In these videos, in these surf reports. What I'm trying to do is nail down the biggest influence that will affect all of us. Then it's up to us to act based on that influence. It's up to us to capture the best that this world has to offer based on what energies are available. If you're always fighting the energies, you're going to be slower, sluggish. You're not going to get quite as much done. If you follow the flow and get into the waves of the universe, they come in waves. And that's what we're seeking, to get on the biggest wave and then act appropriately for your own personal life. So anyway, I don't know why I get off on all these tangents. That's not really anything I was trying to say, but I think it's important. Don't demonize. Don't deify people. It's a mistake when you do it, and you're going to miss the truth. All right, this is yesterday's. This is the 22nd. I don't want to spend a lot of time on that, but for you, those of you who haven't seen the other surf report yet, it is very important that you go look at the astrology. We're not going to do astrology here. I'm just going to show you the old DreamBot. This is yesterday. This is Wednesday, the 22nd. And it was huge because of the linguistics in here. We had Jesus, Son, and Life, but on the top you had John. And so anyway, second coming, or maybe John F. Jr. is the second coming, if you will. Maybe he never died. And then we're looking at, the present day. We're going to have some more things that are so advanced that not even your imagination can handle it. So death of your imagination kind of thing. I didn't take that as a very negative thing, but it's matters of life and death. We had both in there. We had life and death. Now, before I show you tonight's DreamBot, consider this. Last surf report was Dream Big. Remember, it's a personal journey, or at least my hypothesis was that it is a personal journey. It's, we could be stuck in Samara, or you might be stuck in what could be considered this martial law and hell on earth kind of thing. If you obsess about fear and those trials and tribulations coming. On the converse side, possibly if your mind obsesses about positive things and harmony and imagines a better future with better technology and more freedom, and maybe even things like telepathy and 4D and that kind of thing, maybe that's where you go. But if we talk about a collective level, which is where a couple of these people on YouTube are, and very popular people are swaying us, like David Wilcock and Bhutar and Bruce Lipton, encouraging us to all get on the same wavelength. And that wavelength should be easy. Who doesn't want harmony? Well, who doesn't want harmony would be someone who's profiting from it. And so, but unfortunately, those are the people who own the brainwashing mechanisms, otherwise known as mainstream media. So anyway, I like these people who at least are sharing a message of empowerment to where we can put the collective unconscious on the positive track. Now, here comes the last surf report. We talked about Dream Big, and this is to influence the rest of the subconscious mind or the collective mind so that we can create a better future. Now, let's look at tonight's run. So there it is. It's the 23rd. That's Thursday. Now, what's cool about this is that these dreams are roughly 24 hours old or within 24 hours. And so these are on the new moon energy. And look what is at the top of the run, love. What is also in the run down below is light. We have love and light in the same run. I don't think the word love has ever been in the top. Don't quote me on that. I just didn't have time to do this research. But it is screaming positive swayance of the collective mind. And is this going to be, commensurate with a transition or an ascension process? If you listen to Cosmic Awareness, that reading, I think just today, on the 23rd, was suggesting that we are in Armageddon. And, that's another mess, another word that got hijacked, if you will. Armageddon used to be kind of like a enlightenment where you'd be able to see more, or you have more awareness, you understand a lot more. But now it's like the end of the material world, and that's not necessarily how it was always supposed to be. And so I'm thinking that this love is, at least at a very minimum, a very positive proof that the collective unconscious is headed in the right direction. How about that? At least we can say that. Can we infer that there's a lot of positive things coming down, or a lot of love coming in our future? Gosh, I kind of feel it. And that was actually before seeing this DreamBot run. So it's certainly possible. So let's go through this DreamBot run a little bit more in depth. So the meme here is actually more of kind of romance, because we have words like dating and husband. So actual romantic relationships in here, as well as love, strong, possible, finding. So it's like finding love. Song's not automatically positive and it's not automatically love. I get that. But in this, it matches the meme, and there's a lot of love songs out there. In fact, the dream titles probably that were plentiful was love song in the people's dreams. And then of course dream and the other form of well, even cream, which is close. I didn't include it in there, but it's kind of like the sugary sweet sort of thing. So it too could probably be put in there, but helping is in there. So it's generally all about love, and a little bit swayed towards the romance side of love, but light is in there as well. Very positive. There is a bit of suffering in here. I wouldn't say it's extremely strong. Hitting, sad, pay, as in like kind of you'll pay kind of thing. And then gone, arms. Now arms could be love, hugging, but arms in this case I thought supported more of a suffering, like arms race, like military arms, that kind of thing. And then ice generally is indicative of suffering in some way. And then the last meme here, the smallest meme, is some sort of exchange. You know, you're like you're paying, you're pulling, you're switching. There's some sort of exchange there. And is that exchanging reality? Oof, I would love that. But if it's exchanging kind of like monetary system, I think that's going to happen as well. I think that already is happening. And switch, hiring. That's a good sign that hiring is in there. All these are representative of a new system, a much more harmonious paradigm, if you will. So overall, extremely positive. Now, one thing I didn't mention is that I also want to look at people's comments, because I haven't had any chance to read these. I need to not be in expanded mode here, but I am so grateful for these comments. Let's go through here. They're not in any order, and I only had time to reply to the one. I think Sherry was the first one this morning. I was able to read that before I got started on my day. But I'm working 7 days a week, and I'm not complaining. I'm grateful that I have an opportunity to help more people, and I don't plan on continuing 7 days a week. That's not sustainable, but it's I need to. And so I'm going to. I'm not complaining. I'm just showing that I'm busy. I guess that's what I'm trying to get across. Lilith at the top of this comment window says, "Fear stalks its own reflection. Remove the window dressing of the prison." Just happened to see that in bold letters like an elephant in the room in my own life. And absolutely true. What this is saying is that it's kind of like the law of attraction. What you're putting out, you receive. It's the law of karma. What you reap, you sow, etc. Cause and effect. It's all there in all these different languages. And so absolutely good call, Lilith. And Sarah and Susan, I wake up recently most mornings between 3:30 and 5, and I can't get back to sleep. I'm retired, so I don't even own an alarm clock to wake up at a certain time anymore. It's frustrating to be wide awake so early. Absolutely. One of the techniques, I hope this is not a common thing. At least for us, I slept well last night, so it was just a one night anomaly. Every once in a while it does happen. But so if I'm waking up early and I have pretty good energy and I can't get back to sleep, what I'll do is just go ahead and get kind of the first task on my list. I'll just wake up, get out of my bed. Most of your sleep cycles last about 90 minutes. That's for most people. It varies, a little bit for most people, but 90 is the average. And what that means is you've got this kind of sine wave of cortisol and melatonin all throughout the night. So if you miss one of these little dips of cortisol, and you want low cortisol to go to sleep, by the way, because that's like less stress, less adrenaline, etc. So that operates in 90-minute intervals. So if I'm waking up at 4, I give myself, 15, 30 minutes to try to get to sleep again. And it's just not happening because I'm just too, for my example, I'd already had 6 hours of sleep. So it's just too much, too much energy. So in order to get to sleep. So I'm already 30 minutes on the clock. So I come out here and get some stuff ready for my first couple of clients. And so by the time that's done, that's about 60 minutes more. I'm ready for a nap again, right? I'm ready for the next phase to happen. So you don't want to wait right at 90 minutes. You want to prepare about, 15 to 30 minutes, get in your bed, start relaxing. So in preparation for that dip of cortisol, and hopefully then you fall back asleep at that point. I have some other strategies. Maybe I'll get in here and do a video just on sleep issues. But thanks for commenting, Sarah and Susan. I appreciate you being here, and hope that this helps. Maybe just go ahead and get up out of bed on that timetable, and then if you can, 90 minutes later ish, find out what your cycle is and go back to sleep at 90 minutes and see if that works. Another option, and we might be on this theme here. I haven't read the comments yet, so I don't know what I'm expecting here, but we're genetically stamped, apparently, to some latest sleep studies, that we have a certain sleep schedule, and how you know that you're in that sweet spot of a good sleep is that if you go to bed at the right time for your genes, and I'll tell you how to figure this out, but if you go to bed at that time each night, you'll have the shortest sleep and you'll feel the most rejuvenated. If you go to bed any other time, you'll tend to sleep longer and potentially less quality of sleep. So you wake up a little bit more tired. So you might want to work on your go to bed time and shift that left or right and see if something else works. A lot of us are shoved into a worldview or an economy that doesn't support your genetic sleep disposition. All right, Lilith again. Yes, my mind is truly blown throughout this one. Yes, I was as well. You are doing such deep work during a time when many of us are feeling like our head may be truly departing into a fantasy realm. I know exactly what you mean. And I've been reporting, at least in my house, to people close to me, that it feels like an alternate reality already. Something feels a lot different. And of course, yeah, everything's different. I'm adapting, and maybe that's the issue, is that it's new, or quarantine and all that. I'm adapting, but it really does seem something more dreamy. I am seeing so many dreams, and they are spilling outward into waking consciousness, especially in social media and entertainment. It is very confusing. I learned that humor is a great last resort on the way to facing one's own mortality, but that can also be a killing joke. So I've spent a good portion of the week in the underworld of my own spirit. I'm afraid to come out for a while because I didn't want to alarm others, and having so little ability to focus on the world outside of my cave, well, it got confusing. I think I am experiencing the danger of relapsing into an eating disorder as well. I was wondering, it's you, and I think Sherry was talking. It might be the I Ching was completely focused on some of these readers, and again, I didn't pre-read I should have, but I didn't pre-read the Rave Mandala, so I didn't really know what to read. And I just happened to read that last sentence, was always talking about eating disorders. And I thought, where did that come from? But it was also magical because both the I Ching and the DreamBot talked about Jesus. Like, this is insane. Anyway, I'll just keep going. Thanks, Lilith. Just love these comments. Jenny says, Chris, thank you for bringing the wonderful way of joining so much wisdom and holism out of the dark weight of all the reversals of truth. We've all been living in Plato's cave on and off since this experiment began. It's changing form and function exponentially through timelines converging. Oh man, you're getting into some deep topics here, Jenny. Demonstrated by the increased cognitive dissonance among those who resist this powerful pulsing mother wave of Uranus, Pluto, Saturn, Jupiter, like futilely denying the new birth is imminent. Wow, that is that's something right there. Thanks for that comment. And so much cognitive dissonance is it's because we're not good at allowing discomfort to take place. We got to fix all these emotions. We feel, all my couples, I work with a lot of couples, and we're all like defensive against other people's emotion. And it's like we're being attacked, but we're not allowing that discomfort of having an emotion present. And same thing with, with anything new. I can't assimilate it because it doesn't fall into what I know to be normal. That's cognitive dissonance. So Lynn Birkbeck, 2007 book, Understanding the Future, A Survival's Guide to Riding the Cosmic Wave, is eminently readable and exciting simultaneously as there's a historic record of previous such waves. I am very grateful and delighted your work presented itself just as you started posting it, like the waves. Keep on rolling. Thank you. And I probably should have listened. I probably should have heard about this book. I have not, and I need to find it. Thanks, Jenny. I'm going to look that up. Definitely a heart. Thank you. And Sherry says, I've already read this one. Another great surf report. Thank you. I'm so happy to have these insights to start off the week. Doing my best to not get defensive. I just talked about that. A struggle for me as of late. Also, difficulty sleeping 4 hours is a good night. Hot flashes. Yep. Solar plexus. Okay. So yeah, she talks about solar plexus pain that leads to panic attacks if I don't realize it early. In the event, headaches and no appetite. There's some big stress resistance problems in there. Resisting fear, resisting anxiety, but mainly just resisting whatever discomfort is coming from the solar plexus. I think you were onto something in the interpretation of the DreamBot with John Jr. And she goes on to talk about actually all three meanings. So the word present, that's what I was thinking of when I accidentally said present twice, and I meant present. And that's exactly what Sherry's filling in with me. So thank you for filling all that in for me, Sherry. I appreciate you chiming in. Really, I do. So Faith, I usually sleep well. Haven't since all this began. Yeah, man, it's putting a lot of stress on us. And I'm not saying that we need to, I'm not saying that we need to just go with the flow. Not, one of those surf reports, I think way back or fairly way back, was suggesting just go with the flow. And I think that was like right when this thing started. And I think that was a good suggestion because we're letting this anxiety and fear really run us and rule us. If it's ruining it all, our sleep, it's decaying our sleep, then we're letting it affect us. And certainly we need to be prepared. Certainly we need to plan and what if some things. But if the mind's ruminating on these issues, it will never solve all the different possible outcomes. So there's one time that we should not have any anxiety. It's when we're going to sleep. Now, sometimes, of course, that's going to be natural. If you're sleeping in a new place, if you're not feeling very safe and secure, obviously, yeah. But so Faith, I hope that you're able to maybe relax into that anxiety, especially when you're laying down for bed. Do your best at securing your place so that you feel a little bit more secure, and then you can really relax every single muscle as you're laying there waiting to go to sleep. I look at it as a time to pray, read, and paint. Yeah, that doing your doing your soul's work, emotionally expressing your emotions. It was kind of a redundant statement, but expressing in a different way of talking that can be very effective as well. So thanks for that data point, though. I hate to see that you're not sleeping very well recently. Sea of Love. I love seeing your surf reports. Thank you. They always have such meaning for me. The current transitions are making me exact aspects to my own chart. My dreams have been very powerful lately. Lots of insights coming through. I've been waking up at 3 for months now, as well as dreaming of things from the past. I do a meditation each morning upon waking and often get messages then. I'd be interested to know. These are the thoughts I wrote after my meditation. So yeah, I think Sea of Love, if you're getting regular, daily insights, that please feel free to share that here. These are people who really want more overlap, more triangulation of what the main influence is. And so, your insights are going to be very important. I find it interesting that faith is a big meme here, and might be speaking to faith. So words are the most powerful thing in the universe. Faith-filled words bring desires fulfilled. Fear-filled words bring defeat. The spoken word is creative power. Words produce images. Using the right words create the right image. Words are like little seeds that produce. A seed doesn't produce unless you plant it. Sow seeds in your heart. You have the power to plant and observe what grows. Have faith. Faith comes from the words you use to create. The power is within you. The key is in your heart. Join your mind to your heart. Create a link. Very powerful. That's a very important concept in human design. A lot to say there as well. It's tossing out the net and having faith that the net is big enough, strong enough that you put it in the right part of the sea, and that it's going to feed you at some point, even if it comes up empty a couple times. Thanks, Sea of Love, and feel free to share these insights that you get. I think those will be very meaningful to a lot of our listeners. Alan, I believe that looks like a target and right on target. If so, thank you. I mean, if not, thanks for being here. I didn't mean to say that. I'm only thanking you if I'm right there. But I appreciate everybody's respectful comments, and I think that we're breaking through, guys. And so keep incubating dreams. That will affect the collective unconscious, like Bhutar and Shiva, and I guess Bruce Lipton is working on having a collective common theme so that we can sway the collective unconscious. I love that idea. We can also do that by incubating dreams, and you can think of one word, or you can think of a phrase and then incubate those kinds of dreams, and that does sway the collective unconscious. Basically a meditation that's a part of it's your vote for the collective mind. And so let's keep doing it. We're on the right track. Thanks everybody, and just keep up the great work, and we'll see you next time. Thanks.